Well, we've all seen old Ebenezer Scrooge when he gets home from the office, sitting there in that darkened room with maybe only the fireplace and a candle for light. And he's sitting there in his chair, trembling before the terrifying specter of his late business partner, Jacob Marley. And old Scrooge, in fear, he does what many of us do when we get scared. He panders. And he says to him, "You always were a good man of business, Jacob." And this annoys the ghost. And he says, "Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were my business." In other words, he's saying they weren't, but they really should have been, and I didn't recognize them while I was alive. This Christmas, we would do well to take the words of Jacob Marley and to take them to heart and to make them our own, and to cross-reference them with the words of the angel who made an announcement to the shepherds. "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people." Now underline that, all the people. "For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord." I won't beat around the evergreen bush here, I'll just lay it out. The real test of Christian faith lies in whether or not the words of Jacob Marley and the words of the angel who made the announcement to the shepherds are really our own, and we are living those out. Is mankind our business? Charles Dickens said mankind instead of humankind, but you get the idea. Is the common welfare our business? Our charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence our business? Tonight I've decided to do something different with my Christmas Eve sermon. It was so tempting just to give a warm-hearted, hot cocoa Norman Rockwell sermon and be done with it, but instead I've decided to issue a challenge to each of us, myself included. Namely, to make the words of Jacob Marley and those of the angel our own. Mankind is our business. The common welfare is our business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence are our business. In her children's message just a moment ago, Reverend Bonnie nailed it. That's exactly what it is. And as the angel said, Christ came for all people. Let me say parenthetically here, I fully realize that there are issues in society and issues in the world where we see that there are many people who do not hold up their end of the stick, who fail to take responsibility for the things they should take responsibility for. This world is populated partially by narcissists as well as by ethical and emotional infants. There's not a whole lot we can do about them. But for us, you and I are Christmas people. We are God's people. And as Christmas people, we can show the world what Christmas means year-round. And we can show the world that there's a much better way of doing things than what they have been doing them. When he was wished a Merry Christmas, old Ebenezer Scrooge was famous for saying what altogether? Bah humbug. Bah humbug. And that is precisely why Christ came into the world. Christ came into the world because, quite frankly, the world was filled with humbuggery. English majors, is humbuggery a word? I don't know. But the world was filled with it. And the world is still filled with humbuggery today because the world has been taking its sweet time in responding to a holy God. But Christ came into this world to take the humbuggery out of it. And you and I, as the church, can show the world what that means. I don't know if there's ever been a church that was named after Jacob Marley. Plenty of churches have been named after the apostles. And you know what? The apostles were every bit as flawed, really, as people, as Charles Dickens' character, Jacob Marley. It'd be neat if somebody would name a church after him. And I think Christ himself would approve, because this is a story that serves as a cautionary tale for the rest of us. This Christmas and always, may God grant each of us renewed peace, a fervent hope, and a fresh resolve to live out goodness for the world from here on out. Amen.